As a gamer, it is very common to experience nostalgia, which is a desire to return in thought or in fact to a former time in one life every now and then. Even with the modern days high intensity games with human like graphics and extremely tight gameplay, it sometimes seems like they're moving further away from the simplistic joy that gamers used to experience from sitting down with their favorite console back in the day. People often cannot help but yearn simpler times and think about those deeply memorable masterpieces that changed the way we thought about gaming. As stunning as the graphics and sound design may be, the complex combat and loot systems in modern gaming can be a little much for the nostalgia fix some folks want out of the hobby. Thankfully, not every game has taken that direction. Here's a list of top 10 games which will give you some serious nostalgia. But before we start, make sure you subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to never miss another episode from the bridge. So number 10 on our list is Max Payne. The game was released in 2001. So Max Payne is a story of a cop in the NYPD who returns home one day and found his family murdered by the hands of drug addicts, high on designer drug called Valkyr. After 3 years of working on a case, Max and his best friend Alex go undercover to bust a weed deal. However, things go wrong. Alex is suddenly killed and Max is framed for his murder. Hunted by the cops and driven by the determination to avenge his family, Max Payne sets out to uncover the truths behind his family murder. We already knew that the game engine employs a slow motion bullet time mode in which action is played out like scenes from Matrix, but we didn't know how it improved the mechanics of the game. It turns out that the bullet time is a resource akin to the ammunition and health that slowly recharges with each kill. It's useful because Max, unlike most FPS heroes, doesn't have bulletproof skin. Next on our list is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. So the story of the game is set in Persia. A young prince and his father's army raid a city where the prince acquires the Dagger of Time. With captured women of the palace and dagger in their clutches, the army heads to the palace of Maharaja to show him the dagger. In the Maharaja's throne room is the hourglass in which the dagger is embedded into. The prince places the dagger into the hourglass where, without realizing it, he releases the sands of time. Now with the entire place infected with the sand creatures and dilapidated into ruin, only 3 remain: the prince, the Farah and the evil vizier. You must play as the prince and use the dagger as your ultimate weapon, with Farah as your sidekick and the vizier as your ultimate enemy. So one of my favorite, Midtown Madness 2. There are sure few things in life, but one of them is that if Microsoft puts out a game with madness in the title, you might as well grab it as soon as it hits the store shelves. Midtown Madness 2 is no exception to this rule. It doesn't matter whether you are a hardcore simulation fan or you simply crave speed, destruction and mayhem. If you want to play a very fun racing game, then Midtown Madness 2 is for you. But that's not to say that Midtown Madness 2 is ideal. In fact, it seems as though it could have used a couple more weeks in testing. On several occasions, the game completely locked up on a fairly standard system, and only through uninstalling and reinstalling did the problem finally seem to go away. You can actually work your way around most of game's bugs and issues, and in fact you might never experience a game crash yourself. But there's no getting past the game's rather pathetic engine noises. When you see a 68 Mustang fastback tearing through downtown San Francisco, you want to hear a mighty rumbling sound that will make bystanders think the big earthquake is finally happening. Instead, the cars in Midtown manage to give off a little purr that barely changes in tone, even when you are redlining the tachometer. It's good to be able to hear when you should change gears, rather than constantly have to check the tachometer. The occasional bugs and the weak sound effects are the only low points in Midtown Madness, because otherwise the game is a blast. So next on our list is Half-Life. The plot of this game is very typical. It is little more than an elaborate version of Doom. You are Gordon Freeman, a scientist at the Black Mesa Research Facility, involved in some mysterious experience. These experiments go sideways and foul creatures begin to taking over complex. It gets more complicated, but there's no need to ruin the surprises that await. Suffice it to say that Half-Life isn't a great game because of its story. It's a great game because of how it presents that story. From the opening moments of the game to the final showdown, all hell is continually breaking loose. And there is never a moment where you are not seeing things through Freeman's eyes. There are scripted events in the game, there are opening and closing scenes, but they all occur naturally within the game environment. It may sound simple, but it goes a long way toward helping create a believable world. The attention to detail doesn't stop with the basic structure. The game is full of surprises, continually throwing new obstacles and challenges in your path. There is a wide variety of textures, lending a distinct look to every area. The numerous scripted events bolster the illusion of reality, and you will come across detailed scenes that are actually continually suspenseful. Next on our list is Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. There's no mistaking what Hitman 2 Silent Assassin is all about. One look at the bald, sharply dressed man on the cover, grim as death and armed with a hardballer pistol in each hand, and you can tell that this isn't exactly light-hearted stuff. Hitman 2 released simultaneously on the PC, Xbox and PS2 platforms. It is a sequel to the PC game released 2 years ago by Denmark-based developer IO Interactive. The original Hitman codename 47 featured some undeniably impressive technical elements, but it also had a number of serious problems. Some players were able to overcome the control issues and punishing difficulty level of the game and appreciated it on the strength of its violent concept. You played as a genetically engineered contract killer and were tasked with stealthily eliminating a number of well-guarded targets. At its best, the game offered both full intense action as well as plenty of nail-biting suspense. The sequel takes the game idea a step further and fully realizes it, proving that IO Interactive has the ability to back up flashy graphics and controversial subject matter with a great gameplay. Simply put, Hitman 2 fixes virtually all of the problems of its predecessor and stands tall on its own merits as an outstanding action game. Next on our list is Cricket 2007. If you are a big fan of the sport, then you know that a little tedium is part and parcel of the whole experience. Indeed, Cricket 2007 plays more towards hardcore supporters than casual followers. As the real life game is represented here in almost simulation like quality, Cricket 2007 is much a game that rewards patience and persistence. Particularly when you get to test match levels at higher than average difficulties. The game did well in Trans-Tasman region, England as well as South Asia, but failed to light up other parts of the world due to lack of global reach of the sport. EA Cricket had difficulties getting licenses from teams. For those who refused to hand an official and certified license, EA Cricket came up with an innovative yet hilarious technique of using funny names for cricketers. If we take Team India for example, S. Gungli, who was actually Saurav Ganguly, or Rahul Dravid, who was actually Rahul Dravid, or Virender Sehwag, who was Virender Sehwag, and Sachin Tendulkar, who was actually Sachin Tendulkar, or at last Yuvraj Singh. You might think that is Yuvraj Singh, but it's actually Harbhajan Singh. So they had to come up with these hilarious names, which really made the game really funny to play. So next on our list is Doom. Not the latest one, but the one which was released in 1993. Sure, there were first-person shooters before Doom, but Doom was the one that made the genre. Originally released in 1993, ID Software's Hell on Mars game revolutionized PC gaming and then went on to make appearances on what seems to be like a billion different platforms. Well, make it a billion and one, because now Doom is available for download via Xbox Live Arcade. This Xbox 360 version of the game stays mostly faithful to the original and it holds up well after all these years. Doom puts you in the role of lone space marine stationed in Phobos, one of the moons of Mars. It's up to you to blow apart as many demons as you can as you make your way through level after level. As you work your way through 27 levels that composite of the original trilogy of episodes, along with the 4th episode that was added after the game was released as a part of Ultimate Doom. Next on our list is GTA Vice City. Discounting GTA 3, there is no other game that offers anything like the experience you will have with GTA Vice City. The game of fast cars and ruthless criminals packs more action and excitement into the first few hours that can be found in the entirety of most games. Released almost full year after previous version, there are a number of compelling minor changes to the model that captivated us so much last year. For those who have already experienced the joys of previous game on PC or PS2, let me spell out major differences and improvements in the store for Vice City. Story is much stronger this time around with a fully fleshed out protagonist. The missions themselves are often longer and sometimes involve more kinds of gameplay than before. Buildings play a bigger role as well as the game permits players not only to enter structures but also to buy them, opening up a new range of missions and rewards. If you have never played either game on any system, you are in for a treat. Vice City tells a much tighter, more personal story than GTA 3. While the anonymous nature of the character in the previous game made it a bit easier to lose yourself in the role, the main character in Vice City is tied to a overall narrative much more tightly. The story plays out in a series of cutscenes that set up the action of each individual mission. The game takes place in 1980s before the events in GTA 3. You play as Tommy Vercetti, a gangster who just finished a 15-year stint in prison. Once he's out, his bosses sent him down to Florida's Vice City as the point man for some new operations. Once the drugs and the money disappear, Tommy finds himself fighting to discover who cheated him while fending off the existing criminal elements of the Vice City. As you might imagine, this type of scenario does involve a fair bit of violence. What you might expect is how the game can walk a line between a humor and horror while presenting all this material. Next in our list is NFS Most Wanted. NFS Most Wanted is a well-balanced, challenging and substantial racing game that's worth your while on any system. It returns the series to its cop-chasing days while incorporating street cars, culture and an impressive display of stylized FMV without forgetting the fundamentals. Though this is obviously a racing game, the first most noticeable aspect of Most Wanted is the story and presentation. The game is draped in crazily chromed out sepia tone landscape of industrial structures and populated with heavily bloom lit FMV characters. The first time you see the story being told, like me, you will gasp in horror. But this mixture of animated, highly colored FMV characters and stylish background is both imaginative and refreshing. And it's risky. I wouldn't touch FMV with a 50 feet pole if I was a developer these days. The story is a typical Saturday morning special narrative. It spins an unimaginative tale of revenge and restoration of order. And the bad guy is Razor, and the local cop who meanly keys your car in the beginning of the game are just annoying and evil enough to get your coat. Number 1 on our list is Road Rash. The OG players remember this game. Road Rash has long been a favorite among these gamers with a penchant of blood and speed. Originally released for Sega Genesis earlier, the first version supported unprecedented graphics and action that was fast enough to give the player a real adrenaline rush. No other motorcycle game before Road Rash had been this realistic. And certainly none had incorporated combat. If your rider is being controlled by your roommate or your older brother, however, the action takes on a whole new dimension. With the new Windows 95 version of Road Rash and its 80 player capability, the old standard has been power to addict. Even I remember playing it with my older brother and he used to ride the bike and I used to hit people with my chain or kick them. No matter how violent the game is, when you come back from school after a tiring day, it is really fun to play and was an amazing experience. That's all for now. This was our list for top 10 games which can give you some great nostalgia. If you think we have missed out on some games which you have played in your childhood and you think which are really awesome and worth including, make sure you leave a comment so that we can include it in our next video. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video.